Who the F cares?
Now back to Steiny and Guru. Take it away, Steiny.
Thanks, Steph. Appreciate it. Back in the gym, by the way. Crossover brought to you by California Academy of Sciences. Every visit supports the Academy's mission to regenerate the natural world. Learn more and reserve your ticket at calacademy.org. Let's welcome in
the guys.
Dan Dibley and Larry Kruger. Larry Kruger in for Mark Willard today.
You guys are my new favorite show, man. I seriously.
Dynamite.
Dude, who's
I
your
take that
barber,
personally.
Though? You are seriously. You're whipped, as we say.
I'm getting. It's tight, isn't it?
It looks good.
I told him
he got that cut at Benihana. Trust me.
Somebody told me last night, on the stream, he's like, you got the comb over going. I go, I got to get it real tight, and then good. Not use as much gel.
Can I ask? Castagne will spend $140 on a cut
once.
Yeah, it was at Brogan.
It wasn't at Brogan.
Yeah, tell him.
and Sons.
Can I ask how much that cost, Larry?
30 with a $10 tip.
Oh, you're good. 40.
I go to DiMaggio's, downtown Walnut Creek.
Nice. Nice. Hey, you have a relationship with Willard outside of work, right? You're friends with him?
We're secret lovers, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's his problem?
Shout out, what was that?
Seriously, what's his problem?
I'll tell you his problem. He can't come up with a dog name, so he stole my dog name.
You have a Penny?
Yeah, I had the original Penny. I've got the real Penny, and then he gets a dog, and I'm like, what's the dog's name? And we've been doing face-offs over there I've been talking about my dog. It was all during the pandemic. He's like, Penny. I go, stop.
That's unbelievable.
I go, stop, Willard. He goes,
Atlantic
no, Penny.
What about him? I've seen them in concert.
Secret Lovers.
Yeah.
Because he said Secret Lovers, and Goo and I were locked up on 90s R&B, maybe late 80s. But
are you an Easy Lover?
That would be Phil Collins and Phil Bailey. Yes. For you to think that you and Mark were the first ones to name a dog Penny is hilarious to me.
Well, I didn't say I was first, but I mean,
because you're both biting on like a generation of dog owners.
Wow. It is weird.
Why did you say Copper?
I'm like, how about Scout? How about give me something? Come on,
kill
Willard.
a mockingbird.
I've always thought it's kind of humorous when you just name a pet a normal name. Like, hey, Jim. What's wrong with Jim?
I got a buddy whose dog's name's Walter.
Exactly. That's cool.
I mean, Walter for a dog.
Little
cool.
Walter.
Probably is a Walter Payton fan.
What's that?
Yeah. A lot of people name their pets after
Walter
their favorite
exactly.
athlete.
Peyton's a real popular girl's name right now.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You are right.
There's multiple Madisons.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Taylor, I believe.
Taylor's very popular, yeah. Yeah, I went for unpopular names with my children. My 3 kids and counting. Keon and Mila, baby Mila.
Now, Mila's taking off, too. I got a niece named Mila.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sneaky popular. Yeah.
Oh, I'd never heard it up until you.
My wife's brother's kid. Is that my nephew? No. What is that?
I never figured that out.
My wife's brother's kid.
In my family, we call it Neff. Uncle Daryl. I'm not really but
second cousin, yeah.
They named their kid Humphrey.
Oh, yeah.
I said, that's fine. Just don't call him Hump. And he said, they're going to call him Huff.
Yeah.
Huff.
Mick who? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a free-for-all Friday. I'm
I've
putting
heard
you guys
it.
on
I've
the
heard
spot.
it, yeah.
Larry, I'm going to go to Dibs first, and if you can kind of get yours ready. But your top 5 sitcoms of all time.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. Does that count?
Was on my list.
Yeah.
Is that whose list is that not on?
Okay. Curb Your Enthusiasm is awesome. When he picks up the prostitute so he can get in the carpool lane.
So good.
Or how about when he calls info to look up Crazy Eyes Killer? Yeah. And he's like, I think it could be a Z. There could be a eyes with a Z.
Oh.
Killer with an AH.
Last season, by the way, coming out this year. The final season of Curb. Yeah, he's got one more in him.
Larry,
it's already been filmed.
It's about his real life.
They've already wrapped it. And so that last season will drop on not HBO Max, just Max now.
Yeah. Give me
just
one
Max,
more, Larry.
As a little kid, I spent a ton of time watching the Brady Bunch.
Oh, I'm not mad at that.
Classic.
Seriously, I could quote that. I could quote that thing forever. It's like deep in the memory bank, too. It's like sad.
Davy Jones. Remember when they
who
are all the celebrities?
Yeah.
Joe Namath.
Don Drysdale.
Wes Parker.
Wes Parker, absolutely.
That's a good poll.
Joe Namath.
Don Drysdale was on there.
How about Jesse James was a mean, dirty killer?
Oh, I got one. Remember Vincent Price?
Yeah. It's a great one. Part 2. Part 2, yeah.
Oh, man, I used to like that show.
I'll tell you, my wife, I didn't watch it when it was on, but somebody sent me a box set years ago of 30 Rock and also what's the one with Jason Bateman?
Arrested Development.
Arrested Development.
Very funny.
I have not watched
Arrested
that.
Development
Yeah.
is funny.
It's really good. Obtuse. The Office definitely is on there.
I like The Office.
And I took issue with your Big Bang Theory take from earlier because
It never
Big Bang
got
Theory,
me.
I think it's very funny.
I think it
and
stinks.
I would encourage you to actually watch it a little bit deeper.
I've never watched it.
Right, and you think it stinks. That is
That's
such a
awful.
Steinmetz take.
Dude, you got
That's
it.
a classic Steinmetz take. Sheldon, one of the great single performances in sitcom history.
Wow.
Michael from The Office, and The Office has to be on there. Michael in The Office is one of the great
they were
characters
close. Yeah.
of all time.
How about Dwight? Dwight's pretty special too.
Dwight's great. Dwight is, kind
Dwight
of
Schrute.
Dwight Schrute was great, but I don't think Dwight is as good as Dwight is without Michael because Dwight plays into Michael as, the assistant to the assistant general manager, essentially.
Right.
So Dwight is elite. The whole cast is great. It's a great show. Actually, Mark is friends with Brian Baumgartner, who plays Kevin.
Yes. Okay.
Kevin.
Oh,
so
so
we
the
actually
actor.
had
I
Kevin
met
on the
him
show.
once.
yeah.
I met him once.
No, dude, of course, Mark. And I'm playing the role of Mark because I'm in Mark's spot
Yeah.
right now. And if I was Mark, I'd give you a 3-minute story on the time I played golf with Brian Baumgartner. But I'll just spare you.
Can you talk up
Yeah.
your lentil dip? I mean, that would,
Well, I mean, it's 7 layers, and I could walk you through all 7
is
layers.
great.
But
Can
again,
you make sure to get me out of
Thank
here
you.
wanting to punch somebody in the face?
I could try. I mean, I think I've done that already on my own without
Well,
having to play the
wait
role
a
of
second. If you
Mark.
punch somebody in the face, I mean, I guess you'd admire them then if it was
That's
mixing,
pretty
right?
good.
Man,
I heard that
What did
earlier
you think
today.
of that? Were we being judgmental, or I mean, it's like
That's
Come
the
on, man.
question.
I-
Are there unforgivable things?
Yes, if you punch a woman in the face the way that Mixon did, you're no
Man,
longer a
he-
good guy.
and Larry,
I don't
that
care.
wasn't even a
I don't
punch.
care who you know or who knows them or
10 years
who
ago?
you know that knows
he
them.
could have
10
killed
years
her,
ago?
Larry.
Yes.
19?
Yes. A violent crime against women is timeless.
And he did no time.
Right.
Well,
I mean, to me, that's
she was
defiant.
calling him some.
Yeah, well,
Steiny, you
yeah.
have a daughter.
No,
3 of them.
no, my
Man, Larry.
my whole argument is we decide arbitrarily like who we stick behind and who we don't stick behind. Like, yeah, why do I like Joe Mixon? Because I've heard good stories about him since that incident. And the guy says that he obviously it's awful what he did.
But the video is just, that to me, it's a game over.
Okay. And I'm not saying you're
You got
wrong.
me thinking, how's he still playing? Like, would they?
Well, he was a first-round pick.
No doubt.
As
That's
well,
because
why,
they
but
settled.
you-
They ended up
I got a
settling.
daughter. I got a sister.
Leonard Little ran a
I
red
brought
light.
his ass up and then
and
got another
killed a
DUI
woman and played
after that.
again.
Yeah,
in the
got
league.
another one.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
That is terrible.
But Dibs, I need you to bring this. I call you Yoda on this one. Kobe Bryant. Did he went to court? There were no charges, nothing to see here because some people
Right.
was blowing up. Like, how do we Kobe kind of like? How do you process that one?
Well, I've always
Nothing to see here
processed
'cause
it.
he went to court?
No, I've always processed it different than most people because now what we think about Kobe is completely different than what we thought about Kobe 10 years ago. And I happen to actually be sitting next to your partner when we got news that Kobe Bryant had died. I actually was in the basement and we
Wow.
were
I'll
watching
never forget.
golf or
Okay.
whatever, and I'm on my phone. He's on his phone.
Saturday.
And the great Sal Castaneda was on his way over, and we're checking whatever, and I go, "Oh my God, Steiny!" I go, I think Kobe Bryant has been involved in a helicopter crash and he's died. And Steiny goes, "No way, no way!" And I go, "I'm with you, no way." And then because it's TMZ,
Yeah.
and who believes TMZ? Well, all of us now. And so as we're going through it, Sal shows up, and Sal has the ability to go to the FAA website, and he then tracks the aircraft that he was in. And Sal's like, "Yeah, it's confirmed." And then at that point, we're looking at all the reports that come out, and now it's confirmed. And I'll never forget, I was with you.
Yeah.
Steiny, it was me and you and Sal, and the big fella came over 45 minutes late as always, and we're all in the basement. And it was just another garden variety day. So what I think about Kobe now is different than what I thought about Kobe back when all that happened. And it's because of what Kobe became. But to your point, and maybe I guess to the Joe Mixon point, if Joe Mixon is able to change his narrative, much like Ray Lewis did, because Ray Lewis was either a principal part of, or at the very least, a spectator to.
But he ended up telling on his buddies.
Right.
Yeah.
But he told on his buddies, but what role did he play?
Right.
We don't know. And this is what makes me think about all of this in terms of what you said, the video.
But he didn't do it himself. He has a. Maybe,
Are you sure?
It was
Well,
his
no, I'm not
friends,
sure.
And
But
that's my point about all this.
I'm not
and,
sure.
And I don't want to make the Draymond Green Jordan Poole thing comparative to these
Right.
levels of violence.
come on.
No doubt.
However, if we didn't have video on the Draymond Jordan Poole thing, we all would think completely different about what happened because we wouldn't know.
think you're right.
That's as real
You're
as
listening to
it can be.
95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco and Odyssey Station. My point is, why do I like Mike Tyson, but I can't stand Ben Roethlisberger? Like, I hate Roethlisberger.
Interesting.
Because I feel like he got
Hate
off.
him.
I told Steiny
And
that.
Mike
Big
Tyson
Ben, come on,
did
Larry.
some things that, but, like,
He went to
He went to prison for rape.
Yeah.
exactly.
If you,
But-
you read the story, you'll be like, did he really? Okay,
But like, why do I not?
The fact is,
I
he
never
went to
wrote off
prison. He
Michael
was charged
Vick.
with, and he
Yeah.
was convicted of rape. That's just the fact.
Right.
Whether or not Desiree Washington,
that's what I
the
told him.
pageant
Yeah.
contestant,
Whose dad loved Mike Tyson?
who knows what happened? Bottom line is, he went to prison for it. Meanwhile, Big Ben, on a number of different occasions,
I brought it up.
allegedly.
Yeah,
I mean, we all kind of have selective morality.
That's all I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
Selective
It's selective
That's all I'm
morality.
saying.
To me, I've never been able, and I've had lots of people confront me saying, man, you don't let the Vic thing go because he was torturing innocent animals and only gave himself up when he was caught red-handed and there was no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Torture.
But what about the
I
time
mean,
in prison, though?
I know, but I mean,
Regardless of how he got popped,
that's
the time
great.
in prison.
I mean, it's not like if I saw him walking the streets, I'd be like, he should
Yeah,
be locked
right.
up. He served his time, and that's fair. But I can't get beyond torturing innocent animals. And I'm not the biggest animal guy. I've got a dog, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Penny.
saying? Torture
So
is
there's unforgivable things
that's
that you have.
each his own. Yeah.
Or maybe
the-
not
the-
unforgivable, but
Yeah. The other part of the Michael Vick thing is that, we all say he tortured dogs. I don't know if he ever actually did.
was overseeing it,
was
though.
his
Okay,
house and
yeah,
it was his friends. I'm not excusing it,
I
Larry,
think he was
but
I mean, no, he was worse than that. He was profiting from it, wasn't
but
he?
I don't
It
know
was
if
like a
he was
business.
principally involved. And again, I'm not defending
Right.
Michael Vick's action. All I'm saying is, you said it. It's the relative
yeah.
morality.
Selective morality.
Thank you,
Selective
Steiny.
morality, yeah.
Selective
Amazing.
morality. And for me, I'm kind of in the guru camp in terms of Michael Vick went away. He went to Leavenworth, I believe, which is not your garden variety, like cushy Martha Stewart jail. That is prison with a capital P. He served his time, and
It's
so,
not the holding tank at the Chase Center, is what you're
correct.
saying.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Do they have one?
Who hasn't been there?
I,
Actually,
don't-
they
I think all of the
they?
arenas have some kind of jail, don't they?
You would imagine.
Well, we all know about the one in Philly, but I
haven't been to one.
I want to run
What's
this
that?
by
I haven't been to one, but when I was working for the Sacramento Kings when I was in college,
Yeah.
That's the best
the,
thing going.
where we sat at Arco Arena was next to their little jail cell, and it was hilarious. I mean, guys would be cuffed and thrown down there, and drunk, and just it was always fun to see. Who's
Okay,
who's
this is
coming
gonna be
in?
a low
Who's
blow.
coming into that?
Did you see the video of the Oakland A's, the fan running on the field, and they say even the security's giving up on the A's, and the fans running nobody chasing them. Before they tackle them, but this guy's just running, having a good
They were
time.
the security was shocked that there was a thing called a A's fan
You
actually
got
at
it.
the
I'll
game.
send it to you. I know you're waiting.
Well, what you can't see in the video is David Forrest is running behind him trying to sign him.
That's
Yeah,
just
no, somebody's inviting him to the treehouse.
Thank you.
three.
I'll take it.
Come see Townie at the treehouse.
Townie.
That's it. We've been having a good show. It's been friendly.
No, I've enjoyed it.
I got to ask you this because and it's not bad. I'm a fan. He's not a fan. So two different
hate when you do that.
perspectives. But we're looking at the Niners and the expectations.
You guys are
of
like an
this
old
year.
married couple, man.
Yeah, that's my
Just say
baby.
married couple.
But Larry,
So like
You're a fan.
Lockhorns.
you do both, and I'm coming to you, Dibs. What is your definition for this Niner team after losing and basically getting robbed of a chance to beat the Eagles? What do you think the fan base as a whole is looking what would determine a successful season for the Niners? I'm telling him you got to at least get back to the NFC Championship game.
I just discussed this on the show an hour and a half ago. No, you have to win a Super Bowl.
Oh,
they are now
Larry.
in the Super Bowl or bust category. Them, the Eagles, and the Chiefs have a different standard than the rest of the NFL. If the Chiefs, Eagles, and Niners don't win the Super Bowl, the Chiefs, Eagles, and Niners organizations and fans it wasn't a successful
well, the
year.
Chiefs just got one, Larry. The Chiefs just got one. I know they're going to try to get another one.
But once your standard is there, once you're on that level, that's your standard.
Mm-hmm.
And especially for the Niners, they've been seeking that sixth thing since the mid-'90s.
Dibs?
No, I disagree with that in terms of Super Bowl or bust, but you have to be one of the final 4 teams remaining, because if you get to that point, then if you make it to the conference championship game again and you lose, however you lose, or if you make it to the Super Bowl and you lose, it's not a failure. Very few teams make it that far, and I understand what you're saying. It's the quest for 6, and they haven't won a bowl in, what'll be 30 years now, coming up this year, since they last
94.
won one. But if you look at all the other teams that haven't won one either, it's not that easy. How many teams have won one since '94?
Well, it's interesting
the answer is,
that
I
you
think,
guys
10
keep
different
going to
franchises.
that, though. But the fans ain't looking at it that. They're worried about when the Niners used to go, they used to win. Not anymore. 19. Right. They lost to the Rams. They lost last year against Philly. Like, who's saying, the Buffalo Bills, there's no fan calculator that's making it worse, Donnie. That's all I'm saying.
What I'm getting at is
the trend is
this.
they keep getting close.
We're putting like the cart in front of the horse. If I said that if I'm a 49er fan right now, I'm on cloud 9. This is every single thing I want my team to be. Would I like them to have 3 Super Bowls under Shannon? Yes. My point is they're in the mix every year. They've been to 3 NFC championship games in 4 years. They haven't won it. They've lost 1 Super Bowl, but it's like that's all you can ask as a fan.
Well, we're talking about different standards. What you ask for as a fan, I'm talking about when Shanahan and Lynch and Jed are sitting in the room, they're trying to win the Super Bowl and add that thing to the trophy case. And to me, that will change the trajectory of all 3 of their professional existences if they get it done. Also, we're talking about windows of championships. The Niners have had a window that's been open for a few years. Now they're on the tail end of that window.
I reject that.
They haven't gotten it. They haven't gotten it done.
Reject that.
If they don't get it done, and they do, the difference between getting it done and not getting it done, to me is they don't have a second place parade. There is no second place trophy. You play to win. And not everybody's got I know it's a little miserable existence because it's like you're going to be disappointed more times than not. But when your standard is championships and you're inside your Super Bowl window and you haven't gotten it done, it's time to get it done.
Right. My whole issue is, but even Larry Krueger, you do not expect the 49ers to win the Super Bowl this year. Expect them.
I do. Expect.
Well, that's a big word.
I don't expect anybody to win the Super Bowl. Really,
that's all. Maybe if you're a Chiefs fan, or to me, there's only one time that I know of that you can say that was when Durant was here.
Right.
When Kevin Durant was a Warrior, you expect him to win a title. Are the 49ers the best team in the NFL?
No, of course not. There is no best team in the NFL ever to that level of expecting them.
Guys?
They're in the conversation.
Right.
Vegas has them as the favorite in the NFC, so they're the best team in the NFC according to Vegas.
Now, what about that window that we went at it over?
Well, if Brock Purdy's any good, their window's 10 years.
Trent Williams is the left tackle. He's kind of irreplaceable.
He's a myth.
You don't think he's any good?
I think he's overrated.
This is Steiny's bit every single year. This is what Steiny is. Mark Ibanez, retired anchor, sports anchor.
Yeah.
Legend,
yeah.
Said he's overrated?
Tier 1.
Retired sports anchor Mark Ibanez is what we need to characterize him as. He's not Mayoko. He's not Barrows.
No,
he's not Inman. He's not Silver.
He might be more elevated than those guys.
Yeah.
Because he covered Montana and Young.
Sure, and he's at practice as often as those guys. And I love Mark Ibanez. And I'm not coming down on him just because he didn't invite me to his retirement party. I wouldn't have gone anyway. The point is...
He was afraid you were going to steal from him.
Thank you. That's a different sports anchor. And we had that discussion recently. But This is what Steiny does.
He
This
thought
is
you
his
were
bit.
going to pull a Schumann
So,
and grab a jacket and take
Last
off.
year,
Detail, dude.
last year Steiny's bit was Kyle
is
Juszczyk. You don't even need a fullback. He's overrated.
He
He's
is.
overrated.
I love this.
I'm trying to get you agitated, so maybe you'll leave. But that's a Steiny bit. Steiny picks one very decorated non-skill player, and
Steph
he
Curry.
drills down on him.
You know what my favorite part of your guys' show is? When Steiny looks at Guru and says, the Warriors are getting older.
Hey, hello.
Who's
Hey,
not?
Hey, that's my retort. Who's
Right?
not?
They're getting older.
See, can you hear me out on Juszczyk?
Okay, go ahead.
I don't like the idea of a skill position player who doesn't get the ball.
He's not a skill position player.
He's a fullback.
Correct. And by nature of the way they run their offense, 21 personnel, I'll walk you through it if you'd like. He is
He's going
not.
to do it. Krug, he's going to come through and piss me off.
He is not a skill position guy
Okay, well, now-
in that fashion. He is a sixth blocker.
Yeah.
It's like saying Tyler Croft is a skill position guy
Yeah, I
because he's a
appreciate
tight
those
end,
answers, man.
and they don't throw him the ball.
Steiny, let me ask you this.
Man.
There's twice as many people in this room as Debo had receiving touchdowns last year. Is
It's
Debo,
because he's not a receiver.
he's not a receiver.
He's a running back.
Nah, he doesn't play running
Let's
back.
go out.
but-
Let's go out. Let's go out hard on a Friday.
Okay, how many?
He's most effective
if you-
when he can carry the ball 9 times.
He had 2 touchdowns rushing. I think he had 3 receiving. So I think he had 5 total.
Man.
And I think those comments, what he's seeing the handwriting on the wall. He used to be the offense. Now he's like, oh my gosh, we got McCaffrey, Kittle looking like Kelsey now, Ayuk just looking like a natural receiver in his catch radius. Debo knows what he's doing. It's like, dude, it's life without him when before he was everything.
And we'll get into that. And we also have Seinfeld tickets. I know you guys have given
Oh, my
away a
gosh.
couple of pair, and that's been huge.
Was that on
but-
your top 5?
Seinfeld, absolutely.
I didn't hear Larry say it.
No, and you know what?
I like Seinfeld.
It's
Old,
people-
I like the old Seinfeld. I like the later Seinfeld, not the newer Seinfeld.
wow.
The
Right.
oldest Seinfeld was too slow.
It still was very, very funny. It did kind of jump the
is
shark
great.
a little bit, but what people will never give credit for because it was animated, it's a show that's still on, The Simpsons.
Oh, that's right.
The Simpsons is a sitcom, but because it's a cartoon, it was a situation comedy, and the situation was Springfield, and Homer Simpson is one of the greatest characters of all time, animated or not. But, Goo, you hit on something we're going to talk about, because if we look at the future of the Niners, McCaffrey, Ayuk,
Oh, man.
and Debo, can you really afford to pay all three long-term? Plus, we're going to get into Larry's camp crushes.
Uh-oh.
And even though Nahigian already warned me outside, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm driving
You
this
going
thing.
Steiny.
No.
Oh.
We're going through the camp roster, either numerically or alphabetically.
This
We're
is
going
good. I
player
love
by
it.
player. And guys you've never heard
And
of.
we're only going to talk about players that are getting older.
Exactly.
Snip it.
Which, by the way, is every
Kruger
human
trying
being
to
on
stick
earth.
it to me. Roll it out here.
Kruger stuck it
I'll
in
end
me.
on this note. The text line says, Dibs, tell Lorenzo Neal he's not a skill position player.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Man.
I did for 3.5 years. I don't know if obviously you're not a listener of Jolo and Dibs.
Same church, same pew.
Pump up the volume. It's time to play ball. All right, fellas, enjoy the cafeteria. It's a Payday Friday. Let's go, guys.